actually has he achieved? Nothing.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're breaking down the $114,000 dividend portfolio, but more importantly, we're going to analyze what Kevin O'Leary said about the Canadian economy. We're looking at what Mr. Beast is going to teach you about money today. And then on top of that, guys, Dividend Grinder quit YouTube, which is really sad. So let's jump. Ready? Welcome back, my passive income investors alike. This is going to be a super awesome video. I'm so looking forward to making for you today. Before we even look into my own personal six-figure dividend portfolio, I want to talk about all these crazy tidbits that I picked up over the last few weeks for you guys, because I haven't really been making too many videos. It's been super busy, but I want to start by talking about, before we get into Kevin O'Leary and Dividend Grinder, let's talk about Mr. Beast. I was watching one of the videos yesterday, and there was a little clip in there that I found that I want to show you guys, because it has to do with student loans. So just take a look.
You would buy if you won the $20,000?
Well, I would probably put it towards my loans for school.
That's boring.
Thank you.
What would you buy with 20 grand? That's not boring.
Pay off my car.
That's still boring.
I think it's absolutely hilarious that this girl is like, oh, I'm going to pay off my car and my student loan. That made sense. That was sensible. I'm on like a game show where I'm going to win some money. So we're going to put it toward my student loans, my car loans. It sounded brilliant. But then by the end of the video, this is what she said.
Spend it on all of our family to be able to go somewhere.
Aww.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we are gonna get a matching tattoo.
You should.
I thought that was absolutely hilarious because I think it really defines today's generation. Oh, I'm going to make $20,000 and I'm going to spend it on my loans and my car. No, do something fun with it. Spend it on something fun. Forget your obligations. Forget that it's going to ruin your life. Just spend it on trips and vacations. You're 20-year-old. Get it all done and dealt with. I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny, and I just wanted to throw it in here because once in a while I watch Mr. Beast, and slap a like if you like Mr. Beast as well. It's kind of fun, interesting content. I just found that little clip, which was a golden gem to understanding today's problems with student loanage. Now, before I get into, well, I don't know what to pick here first. Dividend Grinder, Kevin O'Leary. It's all interesting stuff. How about this? Kevin O'Leary, I want to talk about the Canadian economy. If you are a U.S. Watcher here, guys, you're going to learn something really interesting. I'm just going to show you a few clips that I found unbelievably fascinating. So roll it.
Let's go to foreign affairs. Freeland, a disaster. Unmitigated disaster. Canada should have a front seat on its own bilateral deal with China. And Trump, and I've said this before, snookered her, played her as a journalist. She was not a diplomat. Why would you leave her in that role? If you are running the caucus, when you see disasters like that roll out, we're not trading anything with China. We're selling them some lobsters. They cut us off because Trump arranged to have us arrest a very important diplomat. I've gone through this with you before. Right. It's only gotten worse. We're not trading anything. We don't even have a seat at the table. I blame Freeland and Trudeau's not understanding the strategy that was being played on him to arrest her. He could have diverted the flight, sent it to Mexico. That is an unmitigated disaster, and she's still there. Harsh words, but Canadians have to deal with the truth now. Skill sets. He's never experienced what it's like to manage such a complex thing as the Canadian economy. It's very expensive for me as a Canadian citizen to have such incompetency in so many mandates throughout the cabinet. It's because when he constructed it originally, he didn't use, he wanted diversity, not competency. Competency is your number one criteria. Of course you want diversity, but you can find competency across the board. You've got to put the right men and women in the files. And then it all started to fall apart and unravel. And the way to ask yourself as a Canadian, what actually has he achieved? Nothing.
I'd love to know what you think, if you're a Canadian viewer, in the comments section below, what you think about his thoughts on this whole entire ordeal. The Canadian economy has been in a very weird flux, with real estate being at all-time highs, especially the condo market, and everyone's being priced out of the market that lives here. And I don't think Trudeau is just competent enough. Not that I'm saying that I'm smart enough to run a country. It's an incredibly complex system, but you need somebody in place that can push those policies. So really quickly, I just want to show you Dividend Grinder here, guys. If you don't know Dividend Grinder, you're probably pretty new to this community because he has been one of these kind of really well known between all like some of the bigger dividend investors as well. And I thought it kind of was really weird that he was leaving, and the way he went about it was very twisted almost in a way that I don't think he's in the game to help people.
I'm just like, I can't do it. Like, there's a difference between burnout and it's just like,
I just don't care anymore. Like, I'm not learning anything anymore from all the channels that I follow. It's like the Kenny Robinson videos I'll watch, PBC Ian's, Joseph Carlson's. I don't learn anything. And it comes to this point where it's like, I go on YouTube to learn a lot of times. Like 80% of the times I want to learn, 20% of the times I'm being entertained by following or just listening to these investing videos over and over. I'm not getting either entertainment or I'm not learning. Like, I already know the stuff that I need to know in order to be a successful investor. It's like I don't need to hear it 3,000 times, but that's what the dividend community is. That's what this niche is. It's like, if you don't do it your way or the dividend growth investing way or whatever it is, it's like you get chastised, and it's like you're just cast out as a leper.
He goes on about basically, I'll leave the link. We're not going to watch any of it. You guys can watch it if you want. I had a lot of respect for the guy. It was neat seeing how he was growing, but he started getting really irate with some of the commenters. And like he just, you could tell he was very wound tight when it came to this whole entire community. And he makes it out like this community is boring. It repeats, it recycles. But that is why it is your job to turn it into something unique. I don't like when people come into a game, they think they figure it all out, and then they get bored and they want to move on. And he really talks a lot about gambling. He loves horse racing. His whole motives is excitement, and clearly this community isn't exciting enough for him. And he's got a system set up to him that is easy to walk away from, which is fine if he has more better things going on in his life. But he complains about, he's only making $200 a month off his subscribers, and like, everyone in this community is only here to make money because that's why they're making YouTube channels. And yes, of course, guys, even I am here trying to grow this channel to make passive income so I can focus more on the stuff that I want to do with my family and whatnot. But I'm doing it out of the heart of trying to teach you something. If I didn't have you guys here helping me, I would have never gotten anywhere in my life. And it saved me thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, the advice that I've gotten from you guys alone. And I'm here to share my personal financial independence, retire early journey. When I started this YouTube channel at the beginning of the year, I had the concept in mind that I'm going to do this to the very bitter end. And that I'm looking like 5, 10, maybe even 15 years out for this YouTube channel, guys. And I have only just brinked the beginning of this. And I want to do it in a way where I present you with 10 times more value than I ask in return. Because if you go to a bank, a financial advisor, they are going to rip you apart because you have no idea what you're doing. And I'm not saying I am the greatest, I am the best, I am learning just like you guys, but a lot of you are brand new to this and you're just flip-flopping, trying different things. I wish I had somebody like me 6 years ago that could have taught me all the stupid stuff and mistakes that I made along the way, because now I make more money passively than I ever have because of the advice that came from you guys. And I feel like he's so focused on the part of the community that is just boring to him. Like the fact that a lot of people just talk about the same stuff. It's all mental masturbation. And like, it's just, to me, I thought it was a little bit off-putting. Because I'm like, man, you're here to help people. Like, sure, if you can make a little bit of money on it, it's not enough for you or you're not enjoying it, sure, have no problem leaving. But don't bitch your whole way out like the community sucks and you're bored of it and you want to do sports gambling. Like, I'm not here to batter you, but come on, man. Like, we're all trying to help each other here. And there's a lot to learn and there's a lot of new content. There's a lot of ways to make this exciting. Which makes me lead into my final point, guys. We're going to take a look at the $114,000 dividend portfolio. As per usual, every time the market hits all-time highs, it's sell the pop Thursdays and then buy the dips Mondays, because every time those pops come on toward the end of the week, Friday profit taking comes in, and then Monday it's like right back into it all of a sudden into Thursday, followed by another Friday drop. It's really interesting what's going on in the markets right now. So let's just head over to the dividend portfolio. You guys can quickly analyze some of the stuff that's going on. I'm not going to talk too much about the individual positions, because obviously we all know what's going on with Altria Group and Drool and all that hate that I think is way too overtaught. But come on, guys, let's go check the portfolio out.
Alrighty, ladies, gentlemen, take a quick peek here. Starting with the RSP, just always comparing myself to see if I am outperforming the indexes, which reminds me I do a portfolio update on my performance every month when the charting comes out. Starting with Vanguard Index, though, here, this is the VFV, and it looks like we're still overall up, but a lot of individual stocks are down, including a lot of my holdings, but they are new holdings, and I still think they're damn cheap. And we're going to take a look at those in one quick second, but it's always nice looking. This is my RSP account. Not going to explain too much about that today, but let's just hop over into the managed account. the account that I'm going to have to deal with very soon. There's going to be a lot of changes going on in here in the not too distant future. But looking at 3M at the start, that was the one you guys voted on. Yes, you voted on 3M for the new subscribers. In the past, I did a quick little run option where I let you guys decide where I was going to spend some money. And I have an RBC account as well with about $1,000 in 3M that is up as well. So that was a good pick. Thumbs up. You guys are one of the only green stocks of the year. My purchases. Taking a look though, MO I still think is on one heck of a discount. Look at that. It's way cheaper than it's ever been. I'm not telling you to buy this, but I love it. It's my own personal thing. I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm just entertaining you and showing you my own personal fire journey here. But taking a look at British American Tobacco is another one of my popping green ones, doing pretty good. J&J flat. Starbucks pretty much flat. Not really. I'd like to see it drop into the 80s or something. But Tesla is slowly coming back. And like I said, if you guys were buying on that dip, I give you a big high five. I'm still dying here trying to maybe pick up my last 3 shares. I want to have about 10 shares in this, but damn, it's just trying to get the money to get up for that. It's a challenge and a half. But let's take a look at the final account, my golden gem, the goose of all goose. I got some dividend payments. That's what we're looking at. Dividends, which is pretty nice, but most of it gets reinvested. There's just a few companies in here that don't pay me them drip payouts, which is Apple, obviously, and the Microsoft. But just taking a quick peek here, guys, starting with the banks. Banks are coming back with a vengeance. Steve Eisman's probably getting his... He's probably speaking with a higher voice, looking at that, considering it's come back quite a lot. I'm going to probably start managing these down. I'm looking into a couple of REITs right now that I'm going to purchase just so I keep in the Canadian economy, keep qualified REITs and start bringing up monthly income to average it out, because my monthly average is like, what, 430, 440. Kind of trying to inch closer to that $500 mark, but have some consistency to it overall. So if I do need to tap into it, which I'm hoping doesn't happen, but it's heaven forbid the day comes where I might need it for whatever, I'll just be able to tap into it like it's nothing and get that cash flow going. Northland Power has been coming down. I got to look further into the details on that. I still think it's at a discount now. A lot of people have been picking up at this level, which is kind of nice. MO in this account as well. Still got quite a big chunk in there, a little bit better buy price, but damn, I was just buying it now. That's why I got it set up on that drip. Got to keep that drip going. But yeah, other than that, guys, everything else is still pretty leveled out. I'm still a little concerned with GEO Group. GEO Group for me, now that Bernie Sanders, if he gets voted in, he wants to take on GEO as well. But honestly, I think Yang is really his universal, but it's kind of, okay, let me tell you how politics works here, okay? Nobody has as much control as they like to think they do, but at the same time, they always have one policy that will get them voted in. And I want you to hear this right now. So long as Yang doesn't do anything crucially crazy, there are so many people talking about universal basic income, $1,000 a month. Everyone hates the big companies that screw the government over, don't pay tax, whatever. He's got like the perfect setup. Now, I'm only telling you this, I don't live in the US, outside perspective, by the way, but if you're Canadian, I knew Trudeau was going to get voted in because do you know how many people wanted marijuana legalized? I mean, just contemplate that for a moment, and I knew he was going to get in. It's always one thing. And which, I don't know, you look at Trump too, right? Like Trump had his own individual things that just kept him highlighted all the time. It's just there's always going to be like one main thing that's going to get something pushed. So I'm hoping he gets in because then he won't screw over my GEO group and it'll continue to flourish. Because let's be real, it's not the people in the prisons that are the problem. It's trying to keep them out of the prisons and actually rehabilitating them. And I'm hoping some management comes into play and things get worked out, because this is a massive company to run into issues with the government. But I think they're used to this. I don't think this is the first time this has come up. So I'm just holding tight, going to keep the drip set up. I'm going to keep my position where it is. I'm not going to add or take any away at this point except for the drip. And I'm just going to let it do its own thing just to keep some risk mitigated, because I don't know what happens when a company gets unprivatized. I haven't actually figured that out yet. So I was just, I'm trying to think ahead and not be too cocky with myself, because I'm just thinking for this prison stock, if it was like they're going to unprivatize it, what would they have to go through to do that? I'm always so fascinated by what the process would be. And obviously we'd have to get paid out in our shares or something, but how does that work? Because then you bankrupt the basic prison system. It doesn't, like, I just don't get it. You can let me know in the comment section below. But I hope you guys enjoyed this quick update. It's been a fun video. I haven't made one in a while, so I wanted to do some work for you guys today. So stay cool, stay awesome. I look forward to chatting to you guys real soon.